Alright, in this video, we are going to start paper 2. It's May-June 2009 of O-Level Mathematics 4024. So it's question number 1 from your topic algebra. It says express as a single fraction in its simplest form. So for first part, first we need to take LCM, right? And the LCM will be, it will be 3 and 2a, and now you need to start with the cross multiplication. So 2a multiplies with 2a plus 3 multiplies with 3. Alright, so that will be 4a square plus 3 threes are 9 divided by 6a, and that is your first part answer because we cannot simplify it further. After that, part B, it says factorize completely. It's 5b square minus 10b. We can take common here, so common is 5b, and the leftover part is b minus 2, and that is your answer. For part C, it says find the midpoint of PQ. For midpoint, the working formula we have is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma y1 plus y2 divided by 2. The working formula I have written with the yellow pen. Now, the coordinates of x1, y1 are given. The coordinates of x2, y2 are given. So it says x1 plus x2. So that will be 4 plus 8 divided by 2. And it says y1 plus y2. So it's 7 minus 3 divided by 2. 8 plus 4, 12 upon 2, 6. 7 minus 3, 4 upon 2. It's 2, and that is your midpoint. After that, part 2, in which you need to find out the length of PQ. So the length working formula I'm writing in the yellow pen. So that will be x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. The coordinates of x1 y1 and x2 y2 are known, so I'm just placing those. So x2 is 8 minus 4 whole square plus y2 is minus 3 minus 7 whole square. So 8 minus 4, it's 4, and 4 square is 16, plus minus 3 minus 7 minus 10 square is 100. So that will be equals to 116, and when you find the under root, that will be 10.7. So that is the answer of part 1 and part 2. In the last part, it says you need to solve the equation 3x square plus 11x minus 7 equals to 0. First, we need to write down the working formula of quadratic. So x equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now I'm going to assign the values of a, b, and c. So we have a is 3, we have b is 11, and we have c is minus 7. Alright. Now it will be minus b plus minus, I am placing the values in the working formula. B square means 11 square minus 4, a is 3, and c is negative 7 divided by 2 times of a, it's 2 times of 3. So now it will be minus 11 plus minus under root. 11 square is 121 minus minus plus 4 threes are 12, and 12 multiply with 7, that will be 84 divided by 2 threes are 6. Alright. Now it will be minus 11 plus minus. When you add these two, you will get 205 divided by 6. Now it's minus 11 plus minus. We need to find the root, and root is 14.3 divided by 6. Now we need to solve it with positive and negative sign. So it will be minus 11 plus 14.3 divided by 6, and minus 11 minus 14.3 divided by 6. So after solving, you will get 0.55 and minus 4.22. These are the answer for the final part. Question number 2, it is from the topic Everyday Mathematics. So it says during a 20-week period in 2007, a bank made a profit of 378 million. So for first part, calculate the average profit it made in each second. Alright. So for the first part, it says 378 million. So it will be 378, and for million, there must be 6 zeros, right? Divided by. Now it talks about in each second, and the time we have is 20 weeks. Alright. So let's start from, we have 20 weeks. If we convert it into days, so we need to multiply it by 7. From days to hours, it's 24. From hours to minutes, it will be 60. and from minutes to second that will be 60 again. So when you solve it, it will be $31.25. That is a profit the company is making in each second. All right, so that is your first part answer. For second part, during the same 20-week period in 2008, the profit was 945 million. Calculate the percentage increase. So for working formula, percentage increase or decrease, so I recommend it as percentage change. All right, so that formula is what? It's difference divided by original price multiplied by 100. Right, now the difference is what we have: 945 million minus 378 million divided by original price is 378 and multiply by 100. That is the working formula. Now you need to solve it. So it will be 945 minus 378 divided by 378 and multiply by 100. So that is equals to 150 percentage. That is your percentage increase. After that, part 3. It says find the ratio of 378 million to 945 million. So you need to simplify it, you need to cancel it. Let's start with 3. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, and 3 six are 18, 3 threes are 9, and 3 fifteens are 45. Again, we can simplify with 3. So 3 fours are 12, 3 twos are 6, 3 ones are 3, and 3 fives are 15. And now it will be 7 6 are 42, and 7 ones are 7 35, 7 fives are 35. And now we can simplify it with 3. So 3 twos are 6 and 3 fives are 15. So that is the answer for third part. All right, after that, part B. It says Mary changed 480 euros into dollars. The exchange rate was $1 to 0.6 euros. The bank took as commission 2% of the amount that had been changed. Calculate the number of dollars the bank took as commission. All right. So firstly, the exchange rate is what? If it's 0.6 euros, so that is equals to $1. And how many euros she has? She has 480 euros. So if it's 480 euros, how much dollar it should be? So for that part, you need to start with the cross multiplication. So I will say that it will be 0.6 times x equals to 480, and you can find out the value of x. It will be 480 divided by zero point 0.6, so that is equals to $800. All right, now the bank is charging 2% of it. So let me find the 2%. 2 upon 100 of 800, so that is equals to 2 eights are $16. All right, so that is the commission that bank is charging, $16 on an amount of $800. So that is your answer. All right, it's question number 3 from the topic trigonometry. It says a heavy ball hangs from a point P 11-meter above horizontal ground by means of a thin wire. The point D is on the ground vertically below P. The point B is on the ground 4 meter from D. Calculate the angle of elevation of P from B. It means that if you observe P from the point B, what should be the angle here? So let's suppose that angle is unknown and I label it as at theta. All right. So for first part, since we are dealing with right angle triangle, so we have the value of opposite, we have the value of adjacent. So we can apply 10 here, so that will be 10 theta equals to 11 divided by 4. Now theta equals to 10 inverse of 11 divided by 4. All right, and 11 upon 4 theta, in it will be 10 inverse of 70 degree. So that is your first part answer, the angle of elevation. For second part, it says the ball swings with the wire straight in the vertical plane PDB. When the ball is at x directly above P, dpx is 28. You can see the angle here. Calculate px. So you need to find the value of px, and for that part, if I draw the line here, so this length it will be 4 as well, right? So with respect to this angle, that 4 is my opposite, right? That 4 is my opposite, and here we have 90, so we have a hypotenuse here. So we have opposite and hypotenuse, that means we need to apply sine here. So sine 28 equals to opposite is 4 and hypotenuse is what you are looking for. So if you make h the subject, so that will be 4 divided by sine 28, and it is equals to 8.52. that is the value of hypotenuse, means px, right? For next part it says xb. Now xb is this length, we cannot find it directly, so what I will do, I will find the length of p to this point, right? So let's suppose that I label this point here is q. So let me find the length of PQ here, and the length of PQ can be found by using the same triangle, and in that triangle now I will apply uh, 10 here because opposite and adjacent, right? So if I apply 10, so that will be 10 28 equals to opposite, that is 4, divided by the length of PQ, which is unknown. All right, so now I can find the length of PQ, that is equals to 4 divided by 10 28, so that is equals to PQ is equals to 7.52. all right, so for part B, in which I need to find the length of XB, what I will do, XB is what, XB is same as QD, right? So I will subtract PQ from the length of 11, so I can say that XB equals to 11 minus 7.52. all right, and that is equals to 3.5. That is the length of XB, and that is your answer for its part 2B, right? It's part 2 and part B. Now the last part B, it says the volume of a sphere, working formula is known. The ball of a sphere of volume 96, calculate its radius. Since it's a sphere, first we need to write down the working formula. So sphere is 4 upon 3 pi r cube. We have the value of volume, so we need to place volume 96 here. Now on the right side, I need to make r the subject, so 3 is dividing on the right side. When you shift on the left side, it will be 96 times 3. 4 and pi will be dividing on the left side, and it is equals to r power cube. So we need to find out the value of this equation, 96 times 3 divided by 4 and divided by 3.142. So that is equals to 22.9. all right, that is your r cube. Now we need to apply cube root on both sides to eliminate the cubical sign, and we can find the value of r here. So cube root of 22.9 is 2.84. So that is the value of radius, and the unit is centimeter. So r is 2.84 centimeter. That is your answer. It's question number 4 from the topic polygons. So it says the in the diagram, the n-sided polygon has 6 angles of x and 3 angles of y. For this polygon, state the number of lines of symmetry. So there are 3 lines of symmetry, and let me show you how. So let's suppose if I draw the line, this one. So with respect to this line, if you observe that this angle x both sides equal, x equal, y equal, x equal. So that is your first line. For the second line, it will be again with the middle point of y. Now with respect to green line, x is equals to x equals to x, y equals to y, and x equals to x. And for third line, again with respect to y, so that will be my third line in yellow color, right? With respect to my third line, x equals to x, y equals to y, x equals to x, and x equals to x. So there are 3 lines of symmetry for the first part. What is the order of symmetry? So order of symmetry is also 3. In part 2, it says show that the sum of interior angles of a 9-sided polygon is 1260. To find out the sum of interior angle, let me write down the working formula here. So it's 2 part A. All right, the working formula is n minus 2 multiply with 180. That is the working formula, and the value of n is, we have, it's 9. So we are going to place 9 minus 2 times 180. 9 minus 2 7, and 7 into 180 is equals to 1260. So that is the answer of 2 part A. After that, it says in part B that you need to find expression for y in terms of x. So if I count all the angles, so I have 6 angle of x and 3 angles of y. So I can say that 6x and 3y, and the sum of angle we had find, it's 1260. So we need to make y the subject, so that will be 3y equals to 1260 minus 6x, right? So we can divide the equation by 3, so that will be y equals to 1260 divided by 3 equals to 420 minus 2x. So that is the answer of y in terms of x. And after that, in part C, it says y is 12 plus 6. So I will place the value of y, this value of y, I will place this part. All right. So now it will be y is what? Y is 12 plus x equals to 420 minus 2x, and that is your 2 part C answer. Alright, now we can simplify it, so that will be 3x equals to 420 minus 12, right? So 420 minus 12, it's 408, and when you divide it by 3, you will get x equals to 136, and that is your answer. For next part, it says in the diagram, the lines ABC and DEF are parallel. AE meets DB at G. We need to find FEB. So let me highlight the angle first. FEB means that we need to find this angle, right? So that is quite simple. Let's suppose that if I say that this angle is X, since the lines are parallel, so we can say that it's X plus 66 equals to 180, right? That is my equation. 66, when you shift on the right side, it will be 180 minus 66, and that is equals to 114 degree. That is your first part answer of FEB. For next part, BEA. So let me highlight the angle first. BEA, it means that this angle you need to find out, right? BEA. So let's suppose I'm saying that this angle is Y. All right. So if this complete angle is 66 degree, what is the leftover part? So we need to subtract it from 180, right? So that means this part here, it's 180 minus 66 leads to 114, right? So for second part, uh, we have a triangle here. It's A, B, and E. That is a triangle. The sum of angle in a triangle is 180. So it's 24 plus 114 plus angle Y equals to 180. So you can simplify for Y, and that is equals to 42 degree. That is your angle BEA. Alright, so after BEA it says AGD. So let me highlight you the angle first. So AGD means that it talks about this angle, right? So let's suppose if I draw a line that is parallel to the line AB, that line is also parallel, right? So we can say that if this angle is 24, so this portion here we have is 24, right? And if it's 39, so we have this angle is 39. The total angle it will be 24 plus 39, and that leads to 63 degree. That is your answer. Question number 5 from the topic kinematics. It says that Ali was on a training run. The diagram is the speed time graph of a part of his run. At t equals to 0, his speed was 8 meters per second. His speed decreased at a constant rate until it was 4 meters per second at t equals to 20. Calculate the retardation during the 200 seconds. So for part 1a, retardation, in which we need to apply the formula for rise over run, right? So it is equals to, what is rise? We have rise is 4, right? And run we have is 200. So that will be 1 divided by 50. All right, that is your first part answer, retardation. Part B, his the distance he ran during the 200 seconds. So for distance you need to find area, right? And we have shapes. It is a trapezium, right? You can apply trapezium here, or you can apply triangle and rectangle here. So I think students are more convenient with triangle and rectangle, so I'm applying the same. So area of triangle is 1 upon 2 base into height plus area of rectangle is L into B. So what is the base of that triangle is 200, right? So base of the triangle is 200, and height is 4 units. Only this part is a height, right? And for rectangle it's 200 base and the height is 4. So now you can solve it. So 2 times 200, it will be 400 plus 4 twos are 800, and that is equals to 1200. That is your answer for B part. For part C, it says his speed at t equals to 150. So when the value of time is 150, we need to find what is the speed at this instant. So let's suppose Currently the speed is x, that is unknown. So we have the acceleration that we had find in the first part. It's 1 upon 50, right? And the rise for this portion, this one, this rise, it will be x minus 4 divided by the run here, this one. So 200 minus 150, it's 50. All right, so you can solve it. So it will be 50 and 50 cancel. So now it is x equals 1 equals to x minus 4, and x is equals to 1 plus 4 equals to 5. So that is your C part answer, that x is equals to 5. In part 2, it says that Ben ran at a constant speed in the same direction as Ali. At t equals to 0, Ali and Ben were level. They ran the same distance in the next 150 seconds. Calculate Ben's speed. So, first of all, I need to find out the distance, right? So, at t equals to 150, if I highlight that region, this one. At t equals to 150, what shape we have is a trapezium, right? So that shape is a trapezium. The working formula is what? To find out the area of trapezium, it says that 1 upon 2, it's sum of parallel sides time height, right? So the parallel sides we have is this length, this length we have is 8, this length we have is 5, we had find in the previous part, and the height we have is 150. So I'm using all those values. So 1 upon 2, sum is what? Sum is 8 plus 5, and height we have is 150, right? So we need to multiply it. 8 plus 5 is 13 times 150 and divided by 2. So that is equals to 975 meters. That is the distance covered in 150 seconds. Now you have distance, we have the working formula which says that distance equals to speed multiplied by time, right? We need to find out speed. So speed is what? It's distance divided by time. Distance we had find out, it's 975, and time is given, that is 150, and it will show you the speed. So after solving, it will be speed is equals to 6.5 meters per second. That is your part 2 answer. After that, for part B, it says that Chris ran 200 meter correct to the nearest 100 meters, 10 meters. So now it is referring to limits of accuracy. He took 25 seconds correct to the nearest second. Find lower bound for the distance. So the distance is 200 meters, right? The scale factor is basically what? 10 divided by 2, that will be 5, right? So for the lower bound, you need to do 200 minus 5, that is the scale factor. So that is 195 meters, right? So that is your B part 1 answer. For B part 2, it says the average speed. Now we know that speed is what? Speed is distance divided by time. Now that part is very tricky. We need to find out the lower bound for speed. To find out the lower bound of the speed, the time should be maximum and distance should be minimum, right? So the lower bound for distance we had find in the first part, that is 195. The upper bound of time, it's 25 second correct to the nearest second. Nearest means it talks about 1, and scale factor is equals to 0.5 seconds, right? So the upper bound of time, it will be 25.5. Now you need to divide these two. So 195 divided by 25.5, it leads to 7.64. So that is the average speed. Unit is meters per second, and that is your answer for second part. It's question number 6 from the topic anethrum. You have the table at your screen. It says that find the value of P, Q, R, and S. All right. So if you talk about P, for P we need to observe the difference. So 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus 2 9, and 9 plus 2 it's 11. So that is your P, right? For second one, you can see that it's 2 6 12 20. So what is actually happening? 1 2s are 2, right? 2 3s are 6, 3 4s are 12, 4 5s are 20, and 5 6 are 30. So Q is 30. For next one, it's 4 12 24 40. If you observe the pattern, so these are the doubles of these numbers, right? 2 2s are 4, 6 2s are 12, 12 2s are 24, 22s are 40, and 32s are 60. So that is the value of R. Middle number in the row. So if you observe that its first row, so middle number is 2, and for second row its middle number is 2 as well. So for the odd numbers, the middle number is 1 plus in that number, and for even number it is same. For row 3, that is an odd number, so the middle number is 4. For row 4, it is an even number, so it will be same, right? So that means for row 5, the middle number it will be 6, one more in the odd numbers. So that is your first part answer. After that, in part B, it says in terms of n for the expression of x, y, and z. So let me start with x. We know that in x the difference is what? The difference is 2, right? And the first term is 3. So the working formula we have is a plus n minus 1 times d. A is what? A is 3 plus n minus 1. D is what? D is 2. We can simplify it, so it's 3 plus 2n minus 2 leads to 2n plus 1. That is your B answer for x. For y, all right. So what we had reduced to find the numbers of y, that we need to multiply the number after 1 added to that number, right? Simply if you talk about 2, so 2 needs to multiply with 3 to get the value. So if it's n, so it needs to multiply with the next number, that is n plus 1. So it is equals to n square plus n. That is your second y answer. And for z part, what we had deduced in the table, that it is the multiple of 2. Whatever the nth term for y, in order to find the value of z, you need to multiply y. So I can say that z is 2 times of y, and y is what? Y is n square plus n. So that is equals to 2n square plus 2n. That is the nth term for z. Alright, so that is your part B answer. For part C, it says the middle number of the row 101. 101 is the odd number, so the middle number is 102, and that is your answer. Alright, it's question number 7 from the topic mensuration. You have a solid rectangular figure on your screen. When a solid rectangular wooden block of oak floats 60% of its height, it's underwater. What fraction of its height is above the water? So if it's 60% below the water, that means for the first part, you can say that it is 40%, right? 40% above the water, and 40% is what? 40 upon 100. So that will be 2 divided by 5. That is your first part answer, because it says fraction. So fraction is 2 divided by 5. For second part, a block of oak has length 60, breadth 50, and height is h. It floats 15 centimeter of its height underwater. As you can see that this size is given height. Find the value of h. Now, when it is 15, so that is basically 60%, because 60% is underwater. So if it's 100%, what is the total height? We need to find out. So by cross multiplication, you can easily get the value. So it's 60h equals to 100 times 15. Cancellation, 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15, and 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 10. So that is equals to 5 5s are 25, and unit is centimeter. So the height of the block is 25 centimeter. It's first part. Part B. In the diagram, the shaded region represents part of the surface of the block that is in contact with the water. Calculate the total surface area of the block that is in contact with the water. So if you observe the front part, that is 50 by 15, right? So it's 50 by 15, and you need to multiply it by 2, because it touches at the front and the back end, right? Similarly, if you talk about this side portion, that is 60 by 15, so it's 60 by 15, and we need to multiply it by 2 as well, because it is on the right side and on the left side as well. And the last one, it is at the bottom, and the bottom part is 50 by 60 only, and there is no need to multiply it by 2, because the water cannot touch the top portion of that cuboid. So we need to simplify it now, and that is equals to 6300 centimeter square. That is your answer for part B. For part B, it says that a solid cylinder made from a different type of wood floats in water. The shaded region represents part of the surface of the cylinder that is in contact with the water. The right hand diagram shows the cross section of one end. The center of the circle O, and the water level reaches the point A and B on the circumference. Reflex angle is known, that is 220. In the first part, it says calculate the curved surface area of the cylinder that is in contact with the water. All right. So for first part, first I need to find out the arc length of AB, right? So that shape is a sector, and to find the arc length AB, the working formula is angle divided by 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. That is the working formula. I am placing values here. So angle is 220 divided by 360 multiplied by 2 pi. The radius is what? It's 9. So that length is 34.56. But we need to find out the curved surface area, right? Now, this length is spreaded over to whole cylinder, and that length is 35. So now you need to multiply 34.56 to 35, right? So that is equals to 1209.67. That is your curved surface area of the cylinder. Alright, so after first part, the second part, it says the surface area of one end of the cylinder that is in contact with the water. So that means we need to find the surface area of this whole shaded portion here, right? So we have sector and we have triangle. So for area of sector, I'm placing working formula area of sector. So the working formula is angle divided by 360 multiplied by pi r square, right? So the value of angle we have is 220 divided by 360 multiplied by pi. Value of radius is 9 and its value is 155.5 centimeter square. Now I need to find out the area of triangle, and for area of triangle I'm using working formula using further trigonometry, that is 1 upon 2 half AB sine C. Alright, so in your diagram the angle that is left over, this angle is 360 minus 220 and that leads to 140, right? So now it will be 1 upon 2. Two lengths we have is 9 and 9, and angle between those two lengths is 140, and that is equals to 26.03. Alright, now we need to find out the total area, surface area. So the total surface area, you need to add these two. So 155.5 plus 26.03, and that leads to 181.5. Alright, that is the surface area of one end of the cylinder that is in contact with the water. Alright, so we had done these two parts. For third part, what it says the distance between the water level AB and the top of the cylinder. So for that part, if I explain you this part here, so what it's going to ask, it says that you need to find the length from this point to this point, right? That is my ultimate goal, to find out the height h. And how I'm going to find this height, from center to the circumference, this length is a radius, and that value we have, it's 9. All right, after that we can find the value from O to this portion by using trigonometry. We can find this length. How? We had find that this whole angle is 140, right? So the half of 140, it is 70. All right, that angle is 70. So you have the angle 70, you have the hypotenuse, you can find the length here, and let me say that this length is y. So I can use cos here, so it will be cos 70 equals to adjacent divided by hypotenuse, right? So 70 cos multiplies with 9, so that is equals to 3.08. That is the value of y, this portion, right? The total length we have is 9. So if I subtract 3.08 from 9, I will get 5.92, and that is the value of height asked in the question. So that is the third part answer. I hope that it is clear to you, and we had done all three parts of this mensuration question. Alright, it's question number 8 from the graph. You have a rectangle on your screen. It says that the diagram represents a rectangular pond ABCD surrounded by a paved region. The paved region has width 1 and 10 as shown. The pond and paved region form a rectangle PQRS. The area of the pond is 168. Taking the length of AB to x, write down an expression in terms of x for PQ. Alright. So we need to find out the length of PQ in terms of x. So it's quite simple. We know that this length is x, right? From this length, if we need to reach the length of PQ, so here you have 1, right? And here you have 1 as well. So from x, I'm simply going to add 1 plus 1, it's 2. So that will be the length of PQ. All right. After that, it says it's A part 2. You need to find out the length of BC. For BC, we have the area of the pond, and that is 168. So area is 168. What is area of a rectangle? Its length into breadth. So I can say that AB into BC, that is the area, equals to 168. The value of AB is given, that is x times BC equals to 168. We need to find the length of BC. So BC equals to 168 divided by x. That is your second part answer. All right, after that, it says that in the third part, you need to find out the length of QR. So from your figure, if you observe that, what is QR? QR is basically you need to add 1 plus BC plus 10, you will get the length of QR. So I'm going to do the same. What? 1 plus BC plus 10. That is basically 11 plus. What is the length of BC? It's 168 divided by x. That is the expression for QR. After that, part B, hence show that the area of the paved region is given by. All right. So area of the paved region, that means this area, right? The strategy is what? I am going to find the area of a larger rectangle and I will subtract area of the smaller rectangle. So I will get area of the paved region. So for the third part, second part B, area of the larger region. So the working formula is PQ times QR, right? The area of the larger rectangle minus area of a smaller rectangle, that is already given, it's 168. So we have the value of PQ, it's x plus 2, find in the first part. We have the value of QR, it's 11 plus 168 divided by x minus 168 as it is. Now we need to multiply. So that will be x into 11, it will be 11x plus 168x and cancel, plus 2 into 12, 22, plus 2 into 168, and that is equals to 336. All right, so that will be 336 divided by x minus 168. Now you can cancel 168 and 168. So what is the leftover part? Leftover part is 22 plus 11x plus 336 divided by x, and you need to show the same equation here we had shown. Alright, so that is your part B answer. After that, it says in part C you have the value of x and y. First you need to find the value of P. So what you need to do, you need to place the value of x 9 in this equation, right? So when you place x equals to 9, you will get the value of P. So let me write down the equation. It will be y equals to 22 plus 11 and the value of x is 9 plus 336 divided by x is 9. So that is equals to 158.3, the value of P. That is your first part answer. Using a scale of 2 centimeter represent 1 meter. So I drawn the graph here, but that is not actually drawn because I have plotted with the help of software. So the axis is not as described here, but that is quite enough for the explanation part. So I will start with the part E. By drawing a tangent, find the gradient of the curve at 4, 150. So I need to highlight the point first. So that point here, it's 4 and 150. I need to draw the tangent here. So that is my tangent. Now on that tangent, I need to highlight 2 points. So let's say that I'm taking first point, this one, right? And the coordinates of this point is, on the x-axis I have 5, on the y-axis I have it's 142. That is my first point, and the next point I'm going to pick is this one. So on my x-axis I have 2 and on my y-axis I have 164. So I got 2 points. Now I need to apply the working formula of gradient. So the working formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, right? So y2 I'm picking 164. So 164 minus 142 divided by 2 minus 5. So 164 minus 142 leads to, so it's 22 divided by minus 3. When you solve it, it will be minus 7.3. So that is your answer for E part, gradient, right? And in part F, it says that use a graph to find the smallest area of the paved region. So on your graph, if I draw the proper curve here, so the smallest area that leads to it is approximately on y-axis. The value is it's 143, 144. So F part 1 answer it's 144. Alright, so you need to use proper scale and pencil to find out the exact value. And in the last part, it says the length of PQ when the area of the paved region is the smallest. So basically, the expression for PQ we have is x plus 2, right? We have find this in the first part. And the value of x when the region, when the smallest region we have. So this value here, it's 5.4, right? Let me mark it, this value on the x, this one. So this value is 5.4, and you need to add plus 2 as this is our expression. So 5.4 plus 2, that will be 7.4. That is the length of PQ. It's question number 9 from the topic for the trigonometry. In the diagram, BD is known, CD is known, BC is known, and angle BAD is known. You need to find the length AD. So for first part, we can apply law of sine here. That will be 17 divided by sine 114 equals to the length of AD divided by sine 38. All right. So by doing the cross multiplication, you will get the value of AD, and that is equals to 11.45. That is your answer for first part. For next part, it says that BCD. So for triangle BCD, all the lengths are known. That means this angle is unknown. So the working formula for law of cosine, it will be a square equals to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. That is general formula. So we have a is what? It's 17 square equals to 9 square plus 10 square minus 2 times 9 into 10 into cos a, right? So first we need to make cos a, this whole expression, we need to make it positive. So 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100, and 17 square, when you shift on the right side, it will be negative 289. And this all 2, 9 and 10, when you shift on the left side, it will be 2 nines are 18 and 18 tens are 180. So it's 180 cos a. So I've arranged the formula, and now it's quite easy to find out the value of cos A. So 81 plus 100 minus 289 gives you the value of minus 108, and this 180 on the right side divided by, and left over is cos A. So 108 divided by 180 with a negative sign and cos inverse. So that angle is 126.86. All right, that is the value of angle A. For part B, it is from the vectors in the diagram. OQ is equals to QS, QR equals to 2PQ, and ST is 2RS. Important information is given. We need to find out OQ. So OQ, it's quite simple. One part A. OQ is what? From O to P and then P to Q. So O to P, it's P. So we are finding OQ, and that is P plus Q. That is your first part answer. After that, in part B, it says RS. So from R to S, we need to find out the vector. So it says that QR is 2PQ, right? So if I say that QR is equals to 2PQ, right? So PQ is what? PQ is Q. So QR, I find out it's 2 times of Q. Similarly, it says that OQ and QS are equal. So if OQ we had find out it's P plus Q, so QS will be P plus Q as well, right? So now I have QR, that is 2Q, and I am highlighting the direction as well. All right, so now I need to find RS. So from R to S, it's quite easy now. From R to S, first I need to go from R to Q and then from Q to S. So from for RS, R to Q, it will be minus 2Q because the direction is negative, plus QS, it will be P plus Q. So if you solve it, it will be P minus Q, that is equals to RS, and that is the answer. In the third part, it says that in part C, it says OS. So OS is what? OQ plus QS, since we have both the vectors. So OS is equals to P plus Q, P plus Q, it will be 2P plus 2Q, that is the answer. Alright, so for part D, it says that OT. So OT is equals to what? Is equals to OS plus ST, right? So we have OS, and OS is what? It's 2P plus 2Q plus. What is ST? ST is given in the question that it is equals to 2 times of RS, right? And RS we had find out, so it's 2P plus 2Q plus 2 times RS is what? It's P minus Q, right? We had find RS here, so we are using RS in this position. Now we need to simplify it, so it's 2P plus 2Q plus 2P minus 2Q. So minus 2Q plus 2Q cancel, and the leftover part is 4P, that is equals to OT, that is your answer. And for second part, it says that write down the three facts OP and T. So O, P and T are collinear points. Alright, collinear points, they are scalar multiple, and you can see that from OP and T, OT is equals to 4 times OP, right? We also have proved that OT is 4P and P is what? P is OP. So we can say that OT is 4 times of OP, and that is meant by scalar multiple, and that is your answer. Alright, it's question number 10 from the topic statistics. It's you have time and frequency given. Using a scale of 1 centimeter represent 1 minute for horizontal scale from 0 to 12, and on vertical axis it's 1 centimeter to 1 unit from frequency densities. Now at first you need to find out the class weight. So if you subtract 1 and 3, that is 2. Now this difference is 1, right? So when you have different differences, so you need to find out frequency density, and the working formula to find out frequency density is frequency divided by class width. So I need to find out the frequency densities of all those classes. So I had find out all the frequency densities. Right now I need to plot the frequency density on my y-axis, and on x-axis I need to draw the time, that is in minutes. Right, so I have completed the axis of my graph, and now I need to plot the histogram. So it's from 1 to 3, the frequency density is 2. So from 1 to 3, the frequency density is 2, and that is my first bar of the histogram. So that is a complete histogram of all the classes I had drawn here. And in the next part it says in which class does the upper quartile lie. So upper quartile is what? That is 3 upon 4 of the total frequency, that is 50, and it gives you the value of 37.5. So 37.5 lies in this category if you add up all the frequency. So the answer for upper quartile is 7 till t and lesser than equals to 9. So that is your first two parts. Now in part C, it says find out the estimate mean. For part C, estimate mean, first you need to find out the midpoints. So the midpoint of 1 and 3, it's 2. The midpoint of 3 and 4 is 3.5, 4.5. Midpoint of 5 and 7, 6, 7, 9, 8. And 9 and 12, the midpoint is 10.5, right? We need to multiply frequency with x, and we label it as a fx. So 4 times 2 is 8, 9 times 3.5 is 35, 8 times 4.5, let me find it, it will be equals to 36, and 6 times 14, that is equals to 84, 8 8s are 64, and 10.5 times 6, it gives you 63, right? So the working formula for mean, we know it very well, that it is equals to summation of fx divided by summation of f. So you need to add up all the values. So I have placed all the values, and when you divide it, that will be equals to 5.8. That is your estimated mean. For part D, that is from the topic probability. One person is chosen at random from the 50 people. Write down the possibility that this person waited less than 1 minute. Now if you observe that, so there is no time that is lesser than 1 minute. The lowest time we have is greater than 1 minute. So that means D part 1 has a possibility 0. For part 2, it says more than 5 minutes. Alright, so more than 5 minutes means that now we are focusing on these three columns here. So more than 5 minutes, either it's from 14 plus 8 plus 6 divided by total are 15. So 14 plus 14, that is 28 divided by 50, and leads to 14 divided by 25. That is your answer for part 2. Alright. For part E, it says a second person is now chosen at random from the remaining 49 people. Express each answer as a fraction in lowest term. Calculate the probability that both people waited more than 5 minutes. So for more than 5 minutes, again these three columns, if you pick the first one, that is 28 divided by 50, but if you pick the second one, that will be 27 divided by 49. Alright, now we need to simplify it. So 7 fours are 28 and 7 sevens are 49. And now you can simplify it with 2. So 2 twos are 4, 2 25s are 50, right? So the leftover part is 54 divided by 175. That is your first part answer. And for part 2, it says one person waited more than 5 minutes and the other waited 5 minutes or less. All right. So the first person waited more than 5 minutes. Again, it will be 28 divided by 50. And the next one which waited 5 or lesser than, that means now it talks about these three columns. So it's 4 plus 10, 14, 14 plus 8 leads to 22 divided by 49. And since there is no confirmation of placement, that the first person is greater than 5 minutes or the second person is greater than 5 minutes, so when you have two options, you need to multiply your answer by 2. So you can simplify. 2 ones are 2, 2 25s are 50. First one, right? 7 fours are 28, 7 sevens are 49. And now in the numerator you have 4 times 22, it's 88 divided by 25 times 7, that leads to 175, and that is your answer. Alright, it's question number 11. In the first part, it says that express 2a minus 3b in terms of x. So that is quite simple. If I need to find out 2a, so I need to multiply all the elements of a by 2. So it's 0, 6, minus 2, and 2x minus 3b means all the members multiplied with 3, so it's 3 minus 3, 1 and 0. And now we need to simplify it. So 0 minus 3 minus 3, 6 plus 3, it's 9, minus 2 minus 1 minus 3, and 2x minus 0, it's 2x. So that is your first part answer. Alright, so for the second part, it says that given that A is equals to B inverse, find the value of x. Alright, so first we need to find out B inverse, and that is equals to adjoint of B divided by magnitude of B. So for adjoint of B, we need to swap the places of A and D, so it's 0 and 1, and change the sign of B and C, so it's 1 and minus 1 upon 3, that is adjoint divided by. For determinant of B, working formula is AD minus BC, and you have A, B, C, D. Alright, so I will place the values here. So A is 1, 0, minus B is minus 1, and 1 upon 3. So that leads to 1 upon 3. Alright, so that is 1 upon 3 determinant of B. So 3, when you shift it, so that will be 3 times of 0, 1, minus 1 upon 3, and 1. And finally, when you multiply by 3, so it's 0, 3, minus 1, 3. That is the value of B inverse. It says that B inverse equals to A. So on the left side, I'm going to place A. So it's 0, 3, minus 1, and x. To make sure that your question is correct, make sure that all the values must be equal, right? Like 0 and 0 are equal, 3 and 3 are equal, minus 1 and minus 1 are equal. So the leftover x, now we know that the value of x we have is 3, and that is your answer. It's part B from the transformation, and the first part, it says that the diagram shows triangle P and Q. The enlargement E maps triangle P onto Q. For this enlargement, write down the scale factor. So you for the scale factor, the new length is 1, 2, 3, 4. So new length is 4 divided by what is the initial length? It's 1, 2. So it's 2. So the answer is 2, but with a negative sign, because your object and image are inverted, that means the scale factor is negative, right? So that is your first part answer. Last and next part, that is part A. Part B, find the coordinates of center of enlargement. Firstly, I need to join the corresponding points. So let me label the points here. So first I label the points and their corresponding points, right? And now I join the corresponding points from C to C dash and from B to B dash, right? The points where these two lines intersect, this one is basically my center of enlargement, and the coordinates of center of enlargement is 1 comma 2. And the next part, B and C, now is not the part of CI syllabus, share and stretch. So we are going to leave this part here.